Do you like what we do here? I would assume so if you're listening to this. We have had a good year for growth this year. We've had substantial growth on all the podcast feeds with new subscribers. We have the new YouTube channel with a bunch of new subscribers there too. But we want to carry this over into 2026 so we can continue to provide high quality entertainment, high quality news, high quality reviews, and all that kind of stuff. So what we're asking for going into next year is, if you have the ability, we're not asking for a lot, you can donate. Go to ko-fi.com/MWP News and make a donation. Everything you do goes towards making sure we can do things. That way I can take days off work to go and cover things early, or, things of that nature. Go to events and talk about them early, see advanced screenings. All that stuff goes into that budget. On top of that, if you can't afford that, and I realize right now things are tough and things are rough out there. If you can't afford that, the easiest thing you can do is subscribe and rate. No matter what you use to get this podcast, you can subscribe. Just hit the follow button, hit subscribe, whatever the button is on your thing, and then rate us. Give us 5 stars. That'll help more people find us, and the more people find us, the more we can, the more we'll be able to do, and we'll be able to get more happening. You can also go to mwpnews.com and sign up for our newsletter. There we will have articles and stuff like that about what we cover on this show. And we will also be doing more gaming content on the YouTube channel. If we can get, with more subscribers on there, we can do more. And that's youtube.com/@MWPnews. And again, thank you for a great year for us. Next year will be better. One of the big issues that I had this year that preempted me from doing a lot of what I wanted to has been resolved with the issue with my car, and that issue has been resolved. So going into this next year, we should be a lot more smooth sailing, but we do need your help to get more people listening and get what we're doing here out there. So just subscribe, tell your friends, and if you have the ability to, and you have the money, and you want to, and you think we're doing a good job, and we've earned that, go to ko-fi.com/MWP News and throw us whatever you think we deserve. And thank you, and enjoy this episode. Welcome to Exploring Hyperspace Lanes. I am Adam.
And I'm Josie.
And Josie's back.
Back again.
This is the 3rd episode in 3 days of this show.
Oh.
Because I saw the first 25 minutes of The Mandalorian and Grogu, so I did an episode about that. And then Maul Shadow Lord wrapped up, so I did an episode about the end of Maul Shadow Lord. And now here we are. But now that Josie's back, we really should revisit our predictions for 2025. And see who was right and who won. Oh wait, never mind. Okay, so first question that we posited: does the first trailer for The Mandalorian and Grogu drop in 2025? That was a yes, and we were both correct. So we're off to a good start already. Then does season 2 of Ahsoka enter production? We both said yes. We were correct. That is coming this year. Does any new live-action show get confirmed? We both said yes. That was, we were both wrong. We're in a really weird place right now. Because they're just kind of not making new shows anymore. They're wrapping up what they have, and that's it. Do any of the confirmed movies enter production? we both said yes. I think we were right because the what's his name movie, um, the Sean Levy movie, the guy who did Deadpool 3, did enter production and is coming out next year.
Hmm.
With Ryan Gosling in the lead and what's his name is the bad Matt Smith is the bad guy. It's set after episode 9. Um, do any of the confirmed movies get canceled? I said yes, you said no. You were correct. Because nothing has been officially canceled yet. Although some things are backburnered. Does the remake of Knights of the Old Republic get status confirmation? I said yes, you said no. You were correct. We still have not heard from that. And we did have an update about a different Old Republic game, but that was announced this year, not last year. Do any new books set outside of the High Republic or the movie eras get announced? I said yes, you said no. Um, and you were correct again. Um, just I'm taking a beating here. Um, Number 8, do any Star Wars video games get announced, including hard confirmation of Star Wars and Kingdom Hearts? I said yes, you said no. I was right, because there is a new XCOM-like real-time strategy game coming out. It comes out later this year. And also there's the pod racing game, Star Wars Racer. Um, Brand new coming out, I think next month.
There's been
Um,
other pod racing games, haven't there been?
yeah, but this is like a new one. There was episode 1 Racers, the big famous one for the N64. Um,
Oh,
and they remade that recently. But this is like it's not just pod racing, it's just like a Star Wars racing game.
oh,
But like with next gen graphics, like needlessly good graphics.
oh, okay.
Um, and the Star Wars XCOM game, Zero Company, looks pretty cool too. And then there's also the Old Republic game. Um, do we get anything in the Old Republic announced except for the aforementioned games and reprints of existing books? I said yes, you said no. Um, you were correct on that. And then what will the upcoming animated show be? Because at the time we knew there was an animated show in development. Um, excuse me. I said Jedi Quest. Um, I was incorrect. You said Bounty Hunter show, set at some point between episodes 1 and 6. Um, the answer was Maul.
Oh,
So neither of us were right on that.
and you watched Maul?
I did, yes.
Okay. I
Um,
haven't yet. I know that.
all right. Sorry about that. My laptop just decided to entirely crash.
Hmm.
Um, which was bizarre. But yes, I did watch Maul. I did really like that. Like, I wasn't anticipating liking it realistically. Um, like I was concerned. Like, my issue is like, why do we keep going back to Maul? Like, there are so many
Mm,
characters we could do in the Star Wars universe. Sorry, I just had a glimpse of myself and had to put my teeth back in because I was like, that's gross. Um,
I thought you were gonna get like straight up dentures, like in.
I was see that's expensive. I went to the dentist and they quoted me like 10 grand for that. These were it's actually called like Temp Tooth. I ordered it on Amazon. It cost me $30.
Temp tooth.
Yeah, it's more visual. Like they look good. Like like these two over
They
here
look
are the
okay.
ones. Yeah, like you wouldn't notice if you're talking, but like you do notice when you just don't have them in. And I saw myself in the camera. I was like, oh God. Um,
I was expecting because you had warned me that you'd lost teeth, and
yeah,
so I did notice.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, so I have these that I put in, and you can't eat with them or anything. Like you have to what's it called? You have to take them out when you eat. But they look good for like when I go to work. like or
Hmm.
something. It makes me look like less like a recovering meth addict.
Don't you
Um,
have don't you have like insurance?
I do, but dental insurance covers so little, and like replacement teeth are considered cosmetic, so they don't cover that at all.
Oh.
They cover the extraction, like extracting what's left there. That they'll cover, and they'll cover part of it, but you have to pay to get the replacements or the porcelain.
I think you might have shitty dental insurance.
I do. No, my job has very bad insurance. And I was gonna go on the open market, where there is like the New York State health marketplace, but
Hmm.
someone who will remain nameless cut all the fucking health insurance as part of the last year's reconciliation bill. So that was cost inhibitive. Um, but yeah, so I have that, and also I have glasses now. The glasses are actual glasses because I do
I
wear
thought they
prescription.
were fake.
You did?
No.
Well, I did have blue light glasses I was wearing for a while. Now I have
That's
these.
true. That's
These are
true.
actual glasses because my vision has started to deteriorate.
Oh, I'm
Which is one of those
sorry.
things that happen as you age.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so excuse me. The Mole show is really good. You should definitely watch it.
Okay.
It's like it's animated like the Clone Wars and it's animated like Rebels, like that same style. But there's like a hand-painted quality to it where it's like when they zoom in on like Maul's face, you can see like brush strokes. Like it was like a painted picture instead of like solid like people. It's a really
Oh,
cool effect.
that's cool.
Um and like when you see the backgrounds, like if someone's in the midground and there's like a blurry background, it looks like watercolor.
Oh, neat.
Yeah, it's a really cool effect they go for. And I don't want to spoil it for you, but like the last episode has a really cool thing happen. Um, and I think they handle it reasonably well. Not super well, um, but reasonably well. Um,
Okay.
but what we were talking about before my laptop decided to crash was I don't understand the
Okay.
why Maul is the one who is constantly getting this attention.
Well, he's certainly a favorite character.
No, he definitely is, and it's like, look, I remember being a kid and seeing him with that double-ended lightsaber.
Also, he's very iconic. Like, so his merch would is like
Well,
very recognizable.
yeah, I just think it's Filoni loves him too. That's part of it too.
Falone? What?
Dave Filoni, the guy who kind of he's the new studio head at Lucasfilm.
Oh.
He I mean he was the one who resurrected him for the Clone Wars, then put him in Rebels, and now
Hmm.
he has his own show. And it's like cool, but like let's do other things kind of.
What else do you want?
Well, like I mean, there are other like I think that one of the things that Filoni's really good at is fleshing out areas of the universe that really need it. Like that's what the Clone Wars is. The Clone Wars exists because there's not enough characterization of the Jedi within episodes one, two, and three to really
Hmm.
make episode three work as well as it does. So you need 6 seasons of TV to lay out what the Clone Wars actually are and all of that. And that works. Um, and I think the issue is like when we've done Order 66, one of the big things he's done is expand out how many Jedi have survived and kind of told their stories a little bit,
Hmm.
like Kanan Jarrus and who was he and I mean the two from this show now, um
Ahsoka.
Ahsoka. Well, Ahsoka wasn't really a Jedi anymore. She had
No,
resigned from the Order.
that's
Um,
true.
but it's pretty, it's actually pretty I like that he's done that, and we get these moments of like these are who these characters are, and they're existing out past this. I just wish he wouldn't like his favorite two characters are clearly Ahsoka, which he created, and uh and Darth Maul.
Hmm.
Um, but like I one of my big issues is that they don't really explore the sequel era, and I think the sequel era really needs that. Um, Needs that exploration. Um,
Okay.
but it seems like the Mandalorian and Grogu, the transition, um, is going to do that a little bit.
Really? Hmm.
So I think the way to do this, so that way I don't spoil anything for you that you don't want spoiled, is you can ask me things about what I saw, and I'll answer them. That way I'm not giving you any information you don't want.
Um,
I saw I looked down and I could see the blank like, oh God, I'm on the spot.
uh, I'm asking questions. What am I asking questions about?
Well, like, I don't know what did you think? Like, like,
I already asked that question. You just said it.
okay. Well, okay, so how spoilery do you want?
I don't really want any. I don't know.
There's a cool hallway sequence.
That's cool.
Like, the hallway fights that they've been doing a lot of, like Luke on the ship and Maul
Oh
on the
yeah, yeah.
ship, and there's one like that, but with Din Djarin, just tanking through people. It's amazing.
I do love a good hallway sequence.
Yeah, Daredevil had a few of them.
Mm,
But yeah, that's something else that they do in this. Almost everything we've seen in the trailers is either in the first 25 minutes of the movie or is closely related to the first 25 minutes of the movie.
hmm.
Um, there's a reference to the Clone Wars movie,
Okay.
like a explicit Easter egg back to the Clone Wars movie, that I was not expecting, and I laughed out loud when it happened. Um, there are some cool representation from battle droids, um, from that.
Are
Um,
we're asking, this is Maul you're talking about
no,
now,
no, no,
right?
Mandalorian and Grogu.
Oh.
Yeah,
Um, did you like it?
I did. Some of the effects don't look great. Um,
Is it
like
forgivable?
yeah, I would say so. Like the big issue was like, in the trailer you see like the sequence with like the walkers on the mountain.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the like I left and I was like, it's incredible that like when you go back and watch Empire Strikes Back, the walkers look great. Even though they're stop motion, they still look great. And they don't look quite as good in this. And I was like, it's just kind of a little bit weird. Um,
Hmm.
I think it's because they move too fluidly,
Mm.
where in like I I think the original stop motion had the right
Is
amount of
it
robotic to it.
is it jarring?
A little bit. It's just like they move too cleanly in a way that like because it was practically done originally, it physically has to obey the laws of physics for something of that size. And it's just
Mm-hmm.
kind of like it looks kind of weird when it doesn't match that. It could just be me who thinks that. I don't know.
Hmm. I'll have to watch it
Zeb,
and see what I think. When
yeah,
does it come out?
May 22nd.
Ooh, so you got an early showing of it.
Yep. Zeb from Rebels is in the movie a lot more than I thought he was going to.
Oh, so how come
Um,
you got an early showing of it?
they were doing previews for May the 4th.
Oh, okay.
So I got an
What
email
did
from
you do for your May the 4th and your Cinco de Mayo?
I went to go see this. Um, I drove all the way to Deer Park to see a preview of this. And by the way,
How far away is Deer Park? This
um,
is not an area that I'm familiar with.
right. So I
That just sounds like you made something up.
I live about 10 miles from my job. Deer Park's another 12 from my job, like further out.
Ooh,
So I had to go, out there and then back.
so
Um,
far.
Listen, gas is 4.50 a gallon here. Like, it's a time commitment after working all day. Um, Also, I don't live in like the middle of nowhere.
I don't live
Like,
in the middle of nowhere.
um, but yeah, so I went all the way out there. There were not nearly as many people that I thought were going to show up for this, which I don't think necessarily bodes well for the uh the theatrical release of this. Because they couldn't sell out a small IMAX theater.
Do you think that it would have been better as a musical? This is a genuine question. I
Why?
do find that sometimes when something think like the story's lacking or like there's parts of these kinds like I do want, kind of want like a Star Wars musical.
I mean, look, there are two different questions here. Would I watch a Star Wars musical? 100%. Um, I actually sought out the Star Wars Holiday Special and watched that in its entirety, not just the Boba Fett sequence, which includes multiple musical numbers. I watched the fairly recently the Star Wars episode of The Muppet Show, which devolves into a musical at points.
The Muppets.
Yeah, the Muppet Show from 1977, where it's Mark Hamill, Anthony Daniels, and yeah, it's fantastic. Like first there's a number where C3PO is tap dancing and I'm
Can
like,
you add this to like the like a holiday episode or something?
yes, it's
That
you
that to make sure that we watch it for that.
yeah, it's on Disney Plus. It is fantastic.
Well, I just mean like take note
Okay,
and
yes,
put it in the notes that that's what
yes.
we're gonna do for the holiday.
Yeah, it is it's phenomenal because it's like as
Be
I watched it, I was
awesome.
like, could you imagine now if like Doomsday is coming out at the end of this year, like Avengers Doomsday comes out in December. Imagine if like Chris Evans was showing up on some like family show and like tap dancing like
Like on
in full
like
costume.
Sesame Street or
Yeah,
something.
in full costume as Captain America. Like could you imagine
Oh my God.
like that it's just so it's such a small peek into the past.
God, I
It's
miss the
phenomenal.
90s and the like
That was the 70s. That wasn't even. Did you watch the new episode of The Muppet Show that they did with Sabrina Carpenter?
No.
It's really funny.
I didn't even know that there was new Muppet stuff.
Yeah, it's on Disney Plus.
Okay.
It's just the old Muppet Show, but the guest star is Sabrina Carpenter.
Okay.
It's really funny. But yeah, they to answer the question, yes, I would watch a Star Wars musical. Um,
Now,
do
do
I
you
think
think that that Grogu in the Mandalorian would be better
No,
as?
I don't think this movie would be it because this movie is laying, from what I saw in this 25 minutes, it's very clear this movie is going to be setting the stage for the Heir to the Empire movie.
Oh.
This is part of that lead up with Ahsoka, which comes out later this year.
Hmm.
Um, where the conflict with Thrawn is going to come to a head.
Did Thrawn show up in this?
No,
Is he blue? He didn't
he
show up?
not in the movie. He was in Ahsoka.
Hmm.
Um,
I
because
don't think
remember
I watched
Thrawn,
all of Ahsoka.
you did?
I don't think I did watch all of Ahsoka.
Yeah.
I watched some of it. I watched a lot of it. I don't think I watched all of it though.
Did you get up to the point where she almost dies and goes to the world between worlds and talks to Anakin?
Maybe.
Yeah, that might because I think we meet Thrawn right after that.
Hmm.
Um,
I think we had a long conversation last time we recorded about Thrawn.
yeah. Because Thrawn, I think, he's definitely what they're building towards as the ultimate bad guy of the Mandalorian era stuff, the High Republic. Um, and one of the things that I like that they've been doing is like illustrating how the First Order comes to be,
Okay.
like and how the First Order was able to generate the level of support that it ended up getting.
Hmm.
Um, because like one of the first things is like juxtapose like what happened in the Bad Batch at the very beginning where it's like okay, we are no longer the Republic, we are now the Empire. Bring in all of your Republic credits, and we will trade them in for Imperial credits, and that's what we're going to be using from now on. And then compare that to the opening of episode 1 of the first season of The Mandalorian, where he's getting paid and he goes, all right, well, I have Mon Cal credits, I have Imperial credits, I have some New Republic credits, and it's like, what's this worth? And there's a lot of confusion there
Hmm.
because it's unclear about who's running the galaxy and what the plot of this, as defined by the trailer as well, is that the Republic is trying to track down Imperial warlords. And what they're doing is like they're going to go through the huts to get that. And making these deals with gangsters is exactly what led to, being willing to look a
Gangsters.
blind eye to what's going on, in these criminal enterprises, what led to the rise of the Empire. Um, and it's clear they're just doing the exact same thing.
Hmm.
And it's a really interesting layer they're adding to this. And we'll see what ends up happening by the time we get to the end of this movie. I think what's really interesting is that the fact that they've most of the like everything except for Babu Freak is either in the first 25 minutes or is like tangentially related to the first 25 minutes to the point that it is you can see where it's coming and where it fits in the narrative.
Hmm.
So it's interesting that like there's still a little under 2 hours left that we're unaware of. So who knows who shows up or what or doing what.
Are you looking forward to the next bit?
I am I just kind of I my concern is like where do they go with this from here and then what happens when this movie inevitably bombs.
You think it'll bomb? Why do you think it'll bomb?
I think that there is
You
going
like
to
it.
I like it. And movies that are good don't always do well at the box office. Um
Why
like
would this one bomb? Everybody likes the Grogu and Mandalorian stuff.
well, Disney has tried converting Disney Plus viewership to theatrical release in the past, and it has not worked. We've seen this with Marvel. The Marvels did not do well at the box office. Captain America: Brave New World did not do well at the box office. The Thunderbolts did not do well at the box office. And look, say what you will about Captain America, that movie was not good. Um, but uh, Thunderbolts was really good, and I did really like the Marvels. And I know there are people who didn't like it. Go fuck yourself. It was really good. Um, but it like, and the same with Eternals. Um, Getting the average audience who watches it because like the Mandalorian ratings are good for Disney Plus, but like compared to like traditional linear television are not phenomenal because it's already a niche audience of people who it crashed again.
Yeah.
I th so let me just give a quick explanation as to why this is happening. Ordinarily this is not the setup I would use. I would normally use my snowball mic. Josie has one exactly like it that I got her. I'm not using that today. I would usually use that and then a separate webcam that doesn't have a mic built in. The issue with that is the webcam that the snowball mic wire is currently at work because I started instituting this new thing at
Do
work.
you not edit these?
No, I do.
Oh, okay.
By
Then
edit,
nobody
I
would
mean
know.
by edit, I don't mean well, no, I don't go that deep with the editing. I guess would just string them all together so it's just one long thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I do. No, but I'm
You don't
explaining
have
why
to do
the
that though.
I'm
Like
just
you don't have,
explaining why there's
I
a gap.
nobody need there's no book gap.
There's gonna
It's
be
like the
like,
recording stops and
well,
then
I'm
it
gonna cut off mid-sentence and then come back and it's like and it cut off again. Um,
uh
but like what happened was I started instituting this thing with a mobile workstation and a mobile printer, but I couldn't get the Bluetooth to work, so I hardwired it to the laptop in question. And the the only wire that would work was the one I had in my bag for the microphone, and I haven't bought a new one yet, so it's at work. So I had to use the other webcam I have that has a microphone built into it, um, which plugs into my laptop. But apparently, if you look at the wire the wrong way, it disconnects and the entire laptop crashes.
Don't look at it so much.
Okay. Um, yes, I will work on not looking at it. What was I saying? Oh, so the like the people who are going to be watching something on streaming is already a niche audience to begin with, not to mention it's a niche audience of Star Wars. But the fact that this is now like a sequel to 3 seasons of television is going to put people off. So that's going to be a whole thing. Also, the fact the last two Star Wars theatrical releases haven't been great because the last two were Rise of Skywalker and Solo. And I really liked what was the other one? The Last Jedi, but a lot of people didn't. Um, but it's it's not great. I don't think the week is particularly good. I think they would have been better served moving this to this last week, where the Wars Prada came out. I get what they're doing, where they want to create that consistency for late May, um, for Star Wars. I understand the thought process behind that. But I don't necessarily think that that serves it here, where it's bookended on either side by major releases. And then in quick succession, right after this, you have, and you also want, Memorial Day weekend. But the week after this is, what's it called? Uh, the week after is Masters of the Universe. And then we're getting into June with a ton of major releases and July with a ton of major releases. So it doesn't have the room for legs. Um, So there are a few things that are going to be weighing against it. It's currently tracking for an $80 million opening weekend, which is not phenomenal. Um, on a movie with a budget of 200 million. Um, so like my concern with this is like, do we still get the Heir to the Empire movie because Disney is also scaling back Disney Plus content, or is this kind of like the death rattle for this? And then what form does Star Wars take in a world where this doesn't do well? They're not doing Disney Plus stuff, and they don't really have anything on the front burner when it comes to going forward from here. Because it's not like there is another project in active production after Starfighter. Starfighter is in post right now, and we know about Simon Kinberg's trilogy. We know about the new Jedi Order movie, the Heir to the Empire movie, and the Dawn of the Jedi movie, but we don't have any sense of what else is coming.
Hmm. But I mean, like they'll definitely come through with something. It won't be nothing.
I
You
don't
think, what
know.
do
I
you mean?
mean,
Like, are you trying to imply that Disney's dead?
I don't think I think Disney Plus in the form that we had in the early 2020s is dead.
Well, I mean, I mean, people aren't as scared of. I mean, do you think it was just like it only did as well because of COVID?
I don't think it was that. I think what happened was there was a big rush to streaming and everyone wanted to have their own platform, and Disney put a lot of money in making shows, and there wasn't a return on investment that
Hmm.
they necessarily needed at the budget of these shows. Like The Acolyte is done. The Mandalorian is not having any more seasons. Book of Boba Fett is done. Kenobi was a one-off. Skeleton Crew has not been renewed. Um, that's it. And then if you look at Marvel Studios, the only two shows that are in development for further seasons beyond what it is right now are Wonder Man, which is very low budget, almost like a an FX show, where it's like the superpowers are kind of the back seat, and Daredevil, which is functionally a police procedural with a guy in a suit, because there are minimal powers on display. Um, and like this year we have Vision Quest, which is the Vision show, and they have animated stuff, but they're not producing, like, we're not going to get WandaVision anymore, or Moon Knight, or these big expensive special effects heavy shows. We're going to get smaller things, maybe another season of Hawkeye because that's pretty grounded and low budget. But we're not going to get these long things that have, big famous actors in the roles. Um, and I think that that's just like Disney Plus doesn't see it as profitable. Like Andor cost almost $1 billion to make two seasons of.
Okay.
Like, and that's
So what do you think they're gonna pivot to? Because I mean, there's definitely got to be a pivot.
they're definitely going to pivot theatrical. Theatrical is definitely the way forward. It's just what form does that take after The Mandalorian and Grogu doesn't do the numbers that it needs. If it caps out at $600 million, $700 million, that might turn a profit. It'd be tight, but it might turn a profit. Um, I don't think that this. I think the mistake was putting this as their first move back theatrical. I think they would have been better served leading with that whatever Starfighter is with Ryan Gosling and, you know, sending it after the sequels. And I think that's the other thing too, is that we got Nielsen ratings this week for like who watched what last year. Like no movie in the sequel trilogy made the top 10
Okay.
of Star Wars related content viewed last year. Not not Force Awakens, not Rise of Skywalker, not Last Jedi. None of them made the top 10. So they're not being acknowledged by fans.
Hmm.
So the question is, what do you do from here? And it's like, well, is the Rey movie going to be on the front burner? That's the closest to production. Um, and then what about, James Mangold is doing the movie for Dawn of the Jedi, but he's got other projects that he's also working on because he was just nominated for Best Director 2 years ago. He's very in demand. And then also, his last project for Lucasfilm was Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, which also bombed. Are they
Hmm.
going to take that risk on him?
Hmm.
Um, and then there's like Filoni and his heir to the Empire. If The Mandalorian and Grogu can't make money, why are they going to go with a bigger budget and an untested live action theatrical director to tell that story on a $250 million budget? It's just kind of a weird place that they're in right
Hmm.
now. I think that after the next 2 years, we're just going to see the pivot to animation again. Um, where they're gonna, stick to like these animated shows on Disney Plus and because animation is cheaper than live action. Um, and I think that that's just where they're gonna end up with. Which is unfortunate because I'm seated. If they do a live action um, movie, um, I will be there like day one to watch it, no matter what. Um, because like I've said before, like, you know, I'd prefer bad Star Wars to no Star Wars, but I'd really like good Star Wars.
Hmm.
Like, I'll show up. I'm the guy who's gonna show up every time, but you gotta
But
do
why
something.
should they if you're always gonna show up?
Well, at a certain point, if people like you need to get people beyond me. Like, you don't get The Force Awakens, the $2 billion of The Force Awakens, without turning it into a generational event. And that was, I think that's part of the problem here is that they're expecting too much out of this. Like where we are now is very different from where they were in 1977, or even 1999 when it came back the first time, or even I would say even 2015, when The Force Awakens came out. We're in a very different cinematic environment. And I hate to say it, but Star Wars is not as special as it was in the past. Well, because they're like everything is a big budget science fiction thing now.
What?
Like there like there are multiple dead major science fiction franchises that came out, did huge numbers, and then just kind of died. And they put the money into it. Like, remember the Dark Universe that Universal was trying to do with their Universal monsters? Tom Cruise led The Mummy in 2016. Like, that happened. The Kelvin timeline of Star Trek. Like, the DC universe, which has since been rebooted. Um, Valerian and the City of a Thousand Planets, A House with a Clock in Its Wall, The Darkest Minds, The Hunger Games, um, Divergent, which didn't even finish out the series. Um, Twilight, which the host bombed. Which is the last one. I think Saoirse Ronan was in that one. Um, it, it's 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 just like now there's so much of this that you need to stand out with something really good, and you can't just bank on nostalgia. And that's kind of this
Hmm.
weird place that they
We're
exist
through
in.
the nostalgia era.
Right. You have to make something truly great. It needs to be special and it needs to stand out. It can't just be look a lightsaber anymore, you know. Even
Hmm.
Jurassic Park, you know. Jurassic Park has had more bad movies than good movies.
I love Jurassic Park.
Did you see Rebirth?
That's the most recent Jurassic World.
Yeah, the one that came out last year
Oh, I don't know if I have. Let me
with
look.
Scarlett Johansson.
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
I did.
Um, like,
I think I went and I saw it in theater.
but like that, like you get what I'm saying, where it's like yeah, I mean, I watched them all in all the recent ones in a theater too. I saw Jurassic World twice in a theater. Um, but like most of those movies, like Jurassic Park: The Lost World, Jurassic Park 3, the second Jurassic World movie, the third Jurassic World movie, and arguably Rebirth are not great movies.
Oh yeah, I'm not gonna argue. Like
Like
you're not.
Wicked Part 2 was not good.
Oh, I
Like,
don't think I actually watched part two.
you don't need to. You really don't. It feels like weird fan fiction,
Okay.
which I mean, which is entirely what Wicked is. But like, it feels like really weird fan fiction. Of
Hmm.
Wicked Part 1. Um, but like that's kind of the issue that they're in, where it's like you need to make something really good, and that's not what they're doing. And I think part of that comes from Disney has been too hands-on with their studios.
Oh.
Like, I think that like part of what's been harming both Marvel and Star Wars is that there are too many rewrites, too many reshoots, too much focus on making everything absolutely perfect to the point that it ends up diluting the final product and you end up missing out on what the director's original intent was.
Okay.
There's so much focus on it being perfect and right that it ends up feeling less like a movie and more like a product.
Hmm.
And I think that that's
Okay.
kind of what the problem is, where it's like we need to get this perfect. It's like no, just let like you're hiring a director, trust the director to make the choice.
Hmm.
Like if you're gonna pay him to do this or her to do this, then trust them to do what you're paying them to do.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, are you what's it called? Um, what sorry, my mom just touching on something my grandmother said, and I'm just baffled by it. Um,
Was it racist?
no, it wasn't. She's not racist. She does drop the C word in her sleep. Um, for someone who doesn't curse while she's awake, she drops the C word in her sleep. Um,
It's
but
really funny.
yeah, so no, is there anything Star Wars related? Oh, have you heard about the Star Wars Romantasy stuff?
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, do you know what Romantasy? I'm assuming you know what Romantasy is.
Like romance?
It. You know how we needlessly gender things like as a society, like man wipes and like stuff like that.
Yeah.
So the fantasy and science fiction books have been kind of needlessly gendered into lit RPG, which is kind of like what they consider the boy version of it. And then there is Romantasy, which is the girl version. Romantasy is like romance novels,
Oh,
or I mean,
so smut.
closer to erotica, but in fantasy or science fiction.
Also, don't call it that. That's
Don't call it
weird.
what?
Erotica.
That's the term.
That's weird. No, it's called smut.
No, the term for the genre is erotica.
Mm, yeah, but like this, like you should just call it smut.
I can call it porn too. You want me to call it porn?
No,
Like,
because it's not porn.
how is it not porn?
It's smut.
Okay. Um, well, anyway,
Have you read any recently?
I read The Fourth Wing. I read
Wait a
the
minute.
games gods play.
Wait a minute. The
Um,
Fourth Wing.
yeah,
All of them.
I read the first one, or half the
Okay.
first one.
You then it hasn't even gotten smutty yet.
I read half of Calabasas, which is
So you
starting to
don't
get
even
there.
know.
Um, I have a vague inkling of where it's going. But the point is, and there are several women at work who are very into this stuff too. Um,
I was recommended it by my physical therapist. And I went and I I downloaded it, I listened to it, I got the version of it where like it has the sounds and all that.
oh
And
God,
I was listening to it at work and
on
um
speaker.
no, of course not. I don't want people to hear what I'm hearing. Um and then ever and then like it started getting really and I was like, woo, and I know I'm being very descriptive, but then I had to go back to my physical therapist the next day, and I was like, oh my God.
It's one of those
Why
things
did
that
you
like
have me go listen to this
it.
smut?
It's one of those things that's like it's weird because if it was like if someone's like, "Hey, I got a movie for you to watch," like, and it was like just a straight like a porno, you'd be like, "That's weird to recommend to someone."
Yeah, it
Like,
was definitely a little weird. Like, and then having to go back and like and talk to her about it and stuff after was like, whew, okay.
but also like I'm not saying it's the same thing as porn. Don't get me wrong. Don't take that out of context. It's not the same thing as porn. It's very different. But anyway, Star Wars is doing their own version of that now
Oh,
with
I
an
want to listen
imprint.
to some smutty Star Wars stuff.
I mean, did you listen to the book from the High Republic with Avar Chris and what the fuck's the guy's name? The two Jedi who are like that book was hot. Like
No, I don't know
the
what you're talking about.
Temptations of the Force was the name of the book. Where it's like that book was that was something. It was it came out like 3 years ago maybe. Let me look it up. But it that book was hot.
Oh,
But yeah, it's a Temptation of the Force. Um, yeah, it's with Avar Chris and Eldar Man. Um, shit was hot. But either way, they're doing a Star Wars version of that.
sounded way
And
too excited about it.
there was a what's it called? It was a there was a certain amount of consternation about that announcement.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Why?
Um, the He-Man Woman Haters Club was not happy about that.
Oh. Just they don't like that it's gonna be smutty
They don't like that it's trying to introduce Star Wars and get more women into Star Wars.
by making it sexual?
Well, no, it's romantasy is meant to romantasy inherently is designed as a genre, as a marketing ploy to call it that, is designed to target women.
Okay.
It is explicit. Like you can't like I'm the outlier as a straight man who has gotten through the games gods play and like things like that. Like it's not meant like I'm not the target audience of that. Or like what was that book, Alchemized, which is like a fucking like tome. It's like this thick, and it's like that book started out as Hermione and Draco fan fiction. Um,
I don't know these ones. The only reason that I know about the Fourth Wing was from my physical therapist.
did you get through all of them, or did you just read the first one?
Well, I got through the first one, and then she told me that the second one isn't as bad, and she lied.
Was she was she like, were you like that there's too much porn in this? There's
No, I was very embarrassed. And especially having listened to them at work because there were moments where I was like, "Oh, okay."
well, that's the thing is that it's like it's not like they say on it romantasy, so it's like I see like this thing, it's like this book, it's like the Hunger Games, but with Greek gods. And I was like,
Hmm.
okay, that sounds great. And then you get like three-quarters of the way through, and it's just like hardcore. And I'm like, hmm, didn't think this was gonna happen at 3 o'clock on a Wednesday, but
Yeah, yeah,
in a
yeah,
room full of people.
yeah. Or like 11, or like 11 o'clock on just a random day of the week
Yeah,
when I'm like looking at reports and stuff, and then it's
yeah,
like,
exactly.
"Oh, okay."
Yeah. And it's
I
like,
didn't know, and especially going into it, not realizing that it was going to be a smutty book, and then very suddenly it was a smutty book, and being like, "Oh my God, why did my physical therapist tell me to what? Listen to this."
no, and it's one of those things where it's like you can't even talk to people about it. Like,
No!
because it's like, so I was reading this book, and it's like if anyone is like, oh, cool. Like, yeah,
Yeah, no. And then it's one where like you can't let people see that that's what you're listening to either.
yeah.
Like, yeah.
But yeah,
Um,
they're doing that now at Lucasfilm Press too.
oh,
Um,
they're gonna make them smutty. Okay.
yep. I mean, and look, let's keep in mind it's a Disney imprint of like Penguin Random House. It's not going to be like super smutty.
Well,
It's
that's too
like
bad.
it's like remember on like in the first episode of Andor where it's like they had the closest thing in the history of Star Wars to a sex scene where it's like Bix takes off her shirt and she has a second thick sweater underneath.
No, I don't. That's not something that stood out for
You
me.
don't remember that from? I remember because it's so ridiculous where it's like you're clearly trying to do that, but also like without crossing that line. It's like
Hmm.
and it's like it's one of those things where it's like I guess all these children are just immaculately conceived because no one ever shows affection to each other in any way at
Hmm.
all. Like at the end of Andor, it's like he has a kid with Bix and they just I was like, "Oh, I guess they were fucking then."
Yeah.
Like
Well, I mean, I don't know. Um,
I mean,
so
look, it's
you
the
you don't like that they're not gonna be fucking? I don't
I
understand.
mean, look, I think that like, I'm not saying we need to see it, but like it's just one of those things where it's like, I guess, okay, I guess that happened at some point.
Maybe there'll be an adult section on Disney Plus.
There is. That's where what's it called is. That's where Daredevil is.
It was in the adult section.
Yeah.
Oh.
Because it's like did you watch the new season the last season of Daredevil?
Nope.
Yeah, he
Didn't even make it through the first season.
yeah, in the most recent season, Kingpin kills a guy by like putting one hand on like one side of his head, like at the top, and then one hand on the other side of his head, like at the jaw, and just pushing like this until it crushes his skull. It's
Gross.
fucked up.
Yeah.
Um, well, in the first season, he beheaded the guy with a car door.
You know what that makes me think of is the Game of Thrones
Yeah,
killing stuff. They had some good scenes there. It's too bad they fucked it up at the end, but um
I think you should watch Daredevil.
been
Daredevil
thinking
feels
about that.
oddly timely.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know what
it's
I
really
started
good.
watching is The Boys, the most recent season.
I watched season one of The Boys, but nothing else.
I liked it. It's really It's really like messed up.
Yeah,
I like it. I mostly only like it for Homelander. I don't think that there's one other character that's even remotely interesting or worth watching.
that you do
But
realize
they
that
do some
Homelander's
like
the bad guy, right?
yeah, but like there
Okay.
he's It's not like it's more like his character is interesting and he
Mm,
just does some really fucked up things where you just like you don't want to watch,
right.
but you gotta watch. Cause like holy moly. Um yeah. Although now that the supernatural guy is back in there,
All
that's
three
pretty
of them are
cool.
there now.
What do you mean all three of them are in it?
All three of the main cast of Supernatural. Misha Collins is on the show. Jared Padalecki. And
No, I only what's his face so
no, all three
far.
of them are there.
No.
Soldier Boy is what's his name?
Yeah. And that's
Um
it.
no, Mr. You're watching the most recent season, right?
Yeah. But I'm
Mr.
not through it.
Oh. Well, no, he's been in the entire season. Mr.
Who?
Marathon.
What?
Mr. Marathon was from Supernatural.
There's no Mr. Marathon.
Oh,
What
well,
are you
maybe you haven't got.
talking about?
Keep in mind, I haven't watched it either. I've just seen articles online about it. So, but
Oh,
yes,
okay. So
all
you're
three.
just talking out of your booty hole.
Yes, exactly.
Just going,
Yeah. Um, but yeah, I am gonna watch Spider Noir this month, the Nicolas Cage Spider-Man show on Prime.
I did see a new Nicolas Cage show, but I didn't know it was Spider-Man related.
Yeah. Yeah, he's playing his character from Into the Spider-Verse, Spider-Man Noir.
Oh,
So,
that's pretty cool.
yeah.
I like Nicolas Cage. He's kind of crazy.
Nicolas Cage is not a good actor, but that man, he'll commit.
I like him.
He'll commit, or he should be committed.
I
Either
think
way.
he's fun.
He is. No, he is. Um,
I think he's got to be pretty darn crazy though.
yeah, definitely. Um, but my laptop is dying, so we do have to wrap up for today.
Oh man,
Um,
my only thing that I thought I could bring to the show is I
what
thought
is
it
it?
would be fun to do um a like a quiz thing to figure out what color lightsaber we would get together.
Okay, can we do it within a reasonable amount of time?
No.
Okay, so we'll do it next week. Like,
Okay.
can we do it in the next? Because I have 10 minutes left until my laptop
I
dies.
don't have one prepared.
Oh, okay. Well, then what was I gonna do?
I was
I
gonna
brought I brought an idea. What more do you want from me? You
Yeah.
need to
Oh,
execute. I have the
I was
idea.
gonna find one.
But you made it sound like you had one ready. You were like, I
No,
have
just an
something ready
idea.
to go.
Just the idea.
Like, okay, can we do it? No, not yet. It's take too much time. Okay. So we'll do it, you know. Oh, well, I don't have it
Yeah.
ready yet.
No, we can do it next time.
Okay, so we'll do it next time. We will do what would our lightsaber color be with a quiz that Josie comes up with. Um
No, I'm gonna find one and
oh, you're
like
gonna find one
cite it.
online. Oh, I thought
Yeah.
you weren't gonna make one up.
No, I'm gonna find one and cite it.
Oh, okay. So we'll do that. We'll do that next week.
Yeah,
And then also hopefully if Josie has time, she will watch Maul.
I might.
It's short. It's 10 episodes or a half hour each.
I'm painting a room this weekend, so we'll
Ah, okay.
see.
All right. Maybe she'll watch Maul. Or she'll
We'll
watch
see.
part and we'll watch. How about this? Josie will watch something and tell me what she watched and we'll talk about
There
it.
we go.
Like pick something Star Wars related. If it's a Clone Wars thing or a Rebels thing or Resistance, let me know in advance so I can watch it. And I can refresh. But anything else, tell me what it is and we'll talk about it.
Okay.
There we go. And we'll do that next week. Until our next episode, have a great rest of your week.
Bye.